Can you hear it? Welcome to Relay.
Oh, the bot's dead, by the way.
Oh, the bot. Right. Sorry. Let me boot the bot. Press hold. This is not the real intro. This is I'm booting the bot because I forgot about it. And while I boot the bot, I thought I'd show you all, the first thing I'm going to drink today.
A dog.
It's called Puppers. It's a lager, and it's called Puppers. So I couldn't help it. I mean,
you had to get it.
I had to. It's got a puppy on it.
All right.
Okay. Okay.
Sometime before the end of this podcast, I need to show you the most Texas beer that my wife found. It's the most Texas beer of all time. It's called Oklahoma Sucks.
I saw that. I think you tweeted that.
Yeah.
Okay, the bot is up. There we go. Wait, did that? Okay, that didn't do that. Okay. Hello, everybody. Good morning. Good morning. This is not a test. It's a warning. A warning. A warning of the mess that's coming next. At first, I thought I'd have some fun at your expense, at pubescent text pretentiously pretending to prevent a bitter end. But I don't really know what I want to talk about or gawk about or go on and on and on about, but I think it's about time for this game I've been using as a lifeline to hit its half-life. I want to see, fine. I want to be in that CitizenCon room. When Chris stands up with the bellicose laugh and he tells us all what he's going to do. And I hope to see something real soon. And I hope we get to see something real too. And I hope I'm not the only one to shiver with anticipation, waiting for the day that we can outer space this relay station, sit and have a pint aboard the Astropub, watching stormy weather shift on a planet below while we drift through space in our 890, and I think you've had just about enough of that. Welcome to the relay station.
Been spending most our lives living in a backer's paradise.
Yes.
There we go.
So you could have gone so much further with that, like shiver in the cold weather, and kept going.
I could have.
Disappointing.
I could have, but I also figured that I've got about 20 seconds of people putting up with that before I get shot.
Oh my Shivers God. Demanding waves.
Well, because he's subscribed and he's never gotten a wave.
This is a wave for all the people that subscribe. It's incredibly painful. I bruised my elbow twice this week playing hockey. I actually need to go to a doctor because it kind of feels like I've got a giant hole in my elbow bone that has fissures cracking out of it towards the edge, and it kind of feels like if I hit it again, my elbow is literally going to explode. So it's slightly...
It has fissures what cracking out of it?
Fissures.
Fissures.
Okay. What? Oh, my God. So I don't know how you guys are, but I'm extremely stressed right now. So I don't have a bow tie on because...
Yay! Welcome to my world.
What about your world? You're a teacher. Everything's fine for you.
Yeah, totally. We don't get underpaid or overworked or anything like that.
No,
Let's
you guys
put
are
it into
fine.
Perspective, though, David. He rolled out of bed 15 minutes ago, and he has a tie on.
It's true. But
I will say I also have an advantage because I went to a college where I had to roll 15 minutes out of bed, put a tie on, and go to classes because it was required for classes. So,
and I can confirm it's not like you had one pre-tied, put it over, and went like this. No, you actually tied that thing in like 5 minutes.
I mean, all that said, I have to leave for an airport in exactly 12 hours.
Eric's at the airport, and shout out to Eric because he's waiting for a flight at the airport for like the next 6 hours. So hopefully it's good internet and you can watch this.
I'm also really disappointed because this Puppers
doesn't taste good.
It's not very good.
That's the other advantage of Oklahoma Sucks. It actually tastes good. I think it's made by Austin Independent. Austin Independent is probably one of the best local breweries we have.
I'm gonna have to try it.
Austin Beer Works is good, but Austin Beer Works is also pretentious. So, like, Independent is more like, hey, we're just
real
gonna do
beer.
Shit. Yeah.
I've had some pretentious ones. They're like, yes, this is a sour cotton candy marmalade beer.
Yeah.
And you're like, taste it. And it's like, yes, I do taste the cotton candy and the marmalade. But I'm not sure if I want to.
Why? Who said this was a good idea?
Yeah, I mean, it's nice, but can I have just a beer?
I feel like
You're
any
licking the
kind
ground
of
at a
fruit
fairground.
in a beer is just wrong. Like any
Yeah.
kind of fruity taste in a beer,
I mean,
especially
I will say
citrus.
I've had grapefruit beer before, and grapefruit beer is actually pretty good.
so it's pumpkin beer. My
But
next
those
one's
are
going to be a
more.
pumpkin ale.
But those are more similar to something like mead than
Yes.
they are like beer.
Yeah.
They don't taste like beer. Like that's the thing. If you're actually drinking beer that's like raspberry, it makes me kind of want to vomit.
I don't like Radlers either. Anyway. So we, despite all evidence to the contrary, we here are not actually a beer podcast. Though, man, I'd really like to start one up.
Who's
You know, I
stopping
think
you?
we should, to be honest.
I think that'd actually be fun. Like, have a group of like 4 people from different places, and once a month they all trade brews. So each of them send each one what they're going to be drinking. They've got like 3 of them every month, and you have a podcast where 4 people all try the beer that everyone has sent each other. So they're all trying the same thing from different places. Anyway,
I feel like you should do this before you go on the Astropub every Saturday, just so that you're already tanked before you even get there.
Oh, that might be bad. Okay. Star Citizen. Yes, Star Citizen.
Yes.
10 seconds for those on YouTube.
Fuck you, sure. God damn it. You're saying
What is this? The captain's table? Goddamn.
No, okay. I'm also not sleeping between now and leaving.
That's
Why?
great.
Why?
Because I'm hoping that way I'll be able to have a beer and fall asleep on the first plane, and then maybe fall asleep on the second plane because I'm dead tired. Because
You remember you have a connection though, right?
Yeah, well, they can carry me.
No, I don't think they'd be that gracious. We'll just leave him there. We'll take him back to Ottawa.
Okay, let's switch over to show and tell, and let's. Oh wait, that's not the video I wanted to quay up first.
Q.
Quay.
Quay.
Okay, so there was an intro on this week's ATV, and it looks pretty. Look at him walking.
He looks angry. We're determined.
Let's be really honest right now. There's not much to talk about this week when it comes to actual Star Citizen news.
There is a couple of it.
There's a couple really good things, but let's get through some of these videos first.
I will say the intro. I wanted to have someone like be playing "These Boots Are Made for Walking" over that, because that would have been more humorous.
That's just
That's
what
just what they'll do. Yeah, but Nancy Sinatra, like, and then at the end have him be dancing. You know,
that'd be good. I
that'd
still
be funny.
I do really like it. Like it all looks really good, but we know that Star Citizen looks good at this point, right?
It's a screenshot simulator. Yes, it looks
we've all accepted that Star Citizen looks good.
Yes.
This
You
also
see that dark planet with all the stars? That's
Yes.
where I'd live, because nobody would bother me.
This also looked cool. Just a whole bunch of people getting together, and there have been a lot of these like get community together and have them do stuff lately, and it's good.
There was a great one that I don't think that was promoted on ATV, but it was by a TAC Ops group that was doing. They did a faux hostage rescue situation. And when I watched that whole video, they did it live on Twitch. When I watched the whole video, I'm like, oh, this sounds very much like Arma. Like, I've seen TAC Ops groups do this kind of thing in Arma before.
Yeah.
And it looks cool.
And that'll be really, really good, actually. Hopefully, even in the next patch, as we'll talk about, of like people being able to set up more reliably content like this. Of like, Anyway, it looked cool. What do we got next?
Well, that whole thing with the lineup and the weapons test, it just makes me wonder how that conversation went. We're just going to do a weapons test. We just want you guys to line up. Nobody's going to get hurt.
We're gonna line up and mine you. FOIP?
FOIP looks cool. I need to get a 60 FPS camera.
Yeah.
I have one, but I don't have one for like a secondary one.
FOIP looks like that's actually really impressive. I'm really excited to try this out. I don't
NDA.
know. Yeah,
NDA.
Yeah, I know.
And that's all I'm going to say is NDA.
I know. But the rest of us will get to try it out on like Wednesday, seemingly. So
Yeah.
it's coming really soon. Stormy, what do you think of that? Like, do you think that like podcasts should sort of move inverse because you can actually see them talking now?
In terms of like actually broadcasting from within the verse
Like we could
as
do
your character.
Yeah, we could do the relay station from inverse because we'd all be talking.
You'd all look the same.
Yeah.
No, because you could have different
Problem.
different characters, you know, and
There's a couple.
And
By
by the
men.
that's true.
And this brings it all back. Where's my female models?
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's really, really hope we see something about that in a couple days.
Yeah, that's there's a couple of things that I'm kind of anxious about. Everyone's anxious about ArtCore not making it to 3.4. I'm anxious about female character models
yeah.
and what was the other one they were going to be doing? Like cloud tech. Like those are the things that I'm more worried about than female than freaking ArtCore.
I don't see why people think that locations matter so much. Because the locations, I mean, it's a location. What we need is
all right.
Anyway.
Let me argue for the sake of the people who want Hurston. Hurston is going to completely change the dynamic of the game. Like the economy is going to fundamentally shift from being a small like couple of second jump here to there, you know, kind of thing, to most of the major money and moving will go from the Crusader system to the Hurston system. So like most of the stuff that's going to make you the buku bucks will be in Hurston from Crusader. Like you go to Daymar and mine some minerals, and then you go to Hurston to sell them because they actually have a use for them on Hurston since they make weapons.
And hopefully we'll actually start getting that, and we'll actually start, you know, being able to make some money off mining as well.
Yeah,
cause...
and it changes it's a whole new game because up to now we've been kind of playing like this small little like map, and now it expands so people get an idea of what the game's going to feel like when you have multiple systems. So Hurston, I understand, but would ArtCore, all that is just expanding the Hurston experience just a little bit more. It's the same thing, just a little bit more, which is good, but it's not as important as
female characters,
fundamental features of the game, which we're supposed to be in. You know, I don't know how long ago.
Yeah.
How many times have they promised female characters or buying ships in game? You know,
many. I'm going to be playing a male character for once. I normally play female characters. I'm going to play a male character largely because of FOIP, but I'm still like, okay, come on.
Yes,
this sucks. So, Shiver, they showed off some new scanny stuff. I feel like I personally feel like we've seen this once or twice before. How do you feel about it?
It swings around about, kind of like golf.
Can I get a mulligan?
Yeah, I mean, they're making improvements on scanning.
It's right now, it's just, you need it for mining, to go and find a mineable asteroid in space. As more and other gameplay mechanics come online, they're going to need it to tie into the radar sooner or later, so the sooner the better. But, you know, right now, you can, I mean, it scans, but you would hardly say this is what scanning is going to be in the game. I wouldn't even say it's first iteration, you know, it's just a part of the first iteration.
It's still part of the last time it looks the same as what we have right now. It's just slightly different and more ships.
Is this specifically for mining ships though, or every ship?
All ships.
All ships are finally going to get it, not just.
And they said that if you ping off of other ships, it'll actually show that ship up, rather than like right now where you get close enough, you can see their little like icon pop up. It's about pinging.
See, you guys would know better than I. I haven't updated my client since 2-point-something.
2.6 probably.
Probably before then. I just have the last time I updated was when I got my Avenger Renegade skin.
That's a while ago.
2
There's
years.
no reason for me to, though.
No
Not
female
so far.
characters.
Well, and I have no time to play. I barely have time to play the games that I do.
Yeah. That's a problem I have as well. What with anyway, I want to talk about that in a minute. First, hey, look, lighting's pretty.
I wonder if you could pick those up and carry them around.
I hope so.
Is this the whole object thing where like they can like now model objects, like show them off in game?
Yeah, which is awesome.
Yeah, cool.
They're making lots of improvements on stuff. Something about an elevator.
About how they fixed elevators so you
Yeah.
no longer fall through them at Grimhex. Oh my god.
I mean, that is kind of important, but don't forget that they're going to have elevators on huge ships in game.
Yeah.
And that is going to be a fucking nightmare for them to implement properly.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that and weren't they talking last week about how much of a nightmare water in the Connie's hot tub is going to be a nightmare because it's going to be water in a physics grid. And what happens if they turn, like, you go to zero G, there's just going to be a clump of like, they're going to have a lot of work on a lot of things to do. Yeah.
That's not just for the Connie though. It's also with 890 Jump.
Yeah.
890 Jump has a freaking grotto.
Yeah, well, and that's the thing. It's for, I mean, there's a number of ships that are going to need it, right? So.
That's why you have lids for your hot tub.
Yeah, but what if you're in the hot tub?
Well, no, if you're flying.
But you're in it because, I mean, I'm not going to be flying. Shiver's going to be flying, and I'm going to be in the hot tub. And
well, then you're just turning your whole ship into a hot tub.
Excellent.
Water everywhere.
And then there was something that I think is actually my favorite thing that we saw during this week's ATV. I know that Fastcart was really pleased with this, and I'm pleased.
I actually saw this and thought it was really, really neat because I never understood how they were going to make this work in terms of rotation and make the joints look actually usable. So seeing this actually in use is pretty neat.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, there's a little bit of floating going on. You can see between the knee and the or between the nub and the knee, like the artificial knee.
Yeah.
But it's still really cool, and it was one of those things that I kind of have been talking about for a while. And this is, Fastcart showed this to me because I had a conversation with Fastcart a while ago, just to make sure that I wasn't like being super like righteous for no fucking reason. And my conversation essentially was, seems like there's an awful lot of white people who are mission givers in this multicultural, diverse universe. That seems a little off, don't you think? And Fastcart, we kind of had a conversation about that. And Fastcart showed me this and was like, hey, they're actually doing something about diversity. And I'm like, holy shit, I feel like an asshole because that's right. What would people who are disabled or who have other issues that, in the universe? Now we have a character who is disabled, woman who is a mission giver. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Good job, CIG.
And that's actually one of the things that I will give Chris Roberts credit for is they have talked about this exact thing almost since the original Kickstarter started. Like it was talked about very, very early on, the whole, you might get, cybernetic limbs and stuff because you might lose your limbs in combat, and there will be gameplay behind that, and they'll be stronger, but they'll be, vulnerable to EMP or this and that. Like CIG have actually put a lot of thought into that for a long time. And I think I hope personally that they know about all of the diversity issues, and it's just the game's not there yet for them to put it in. They don't have female characters. Well, not because they don't want to, but because they're not
My,
ready.
my issue is not, and I know I already got seeing people reacting the way that I thought people were reacting when I said this initially. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that they will never do it. It just seems like there's an awful. If you look at the number of mission givers that are available right now, there are 5 white guys and a white woman. That's it. And yay, we've got a white woman who's a mission giver. But it's the fucking future, y'all. They talked about how diversity and crazy this is. Like they've got like a Polish dude named Anthony Tanaka who was a kid who died when by like he's like a more Polish looking kind of guy. You've got crazy names that indicate ancestry far and beyond what they should be, and there's an awful lot of white folk in the positions of power in this universe, which it seems a little off to me. And I'm not going to sit here and be like, CIG is being racist, but it's more like, hey, diversity is important, and also representation is important. I hope CIG changes that in the near future, because right now it's an awful white
which is pretty interesting, seeing as the gameplay base for Star Citizen is mostly male.
Yeah, that is, but at the same time,
then that's not the doing of anybody. It's just one of those things that just does not attract a huge base of female players.
Yep.
Yeah.
Toby, this ain't politics. This is real life.
It's
okay.
We have. I'm going to go on a bit of a soapbox here. It's not politics. It's life, and it's not like where the reality is that there are more than white people who play video games, and there's more than white women who play video games, and the fact of the matter is that women are usually the minority in video games. That's just the video game player base. It's just the reality. And there are many people who might play more video games if they felt like they were being represented in video games more. And it's starting to happen. A lot of people are going, hey, yeah, this is pretty cool. And and with Star Citizen being what it is, you'd expect to see a diversity of people. And it's not necessarily a bad thing. It's not necessarily a good thing. It's just, hey, having more mission givers who are different places, like a dude who looks like a purple people eater, I don't give a shit. Like, it's just, more diversity is not a bad thing. And it's not a political thing as much as it's more people seeing, hey, that's a person who looks like me. That's cool, and
I see comments saying that, oh, let me point out the cast that you have on today. We have a diverse amount of people that come on quite often.
Yeah, no, I mean, there's lots of diversity in the community, and a lot of the folks who come on,
Fast Card all the time, and Geo and
DJ used to come on. He can't now because him and his girlfriend are they use Saturdays and Wednesday off. I've asked them to come on.
He needs some time to not be on all the time.
Mm-hmm. So
anyway, Stormy, I want your last thoughts on this as the only slightly diverse person here.
Slightly diverse. Okay, I've been putting a whole box of diverse.
The 3 white guys are asking the woman for last thoughts on this.
Well, in terms of women in video games, or well, it's just one of those things that I feel like a lot of women get scared away from video games because of the way they're treated. Like, I won't lie, when I game, I do not announce the fact that I'm female 99.9% of the time. And it's just because you are put in a different category than male players and not always treated so fairly, or people take advantage of the fact that you're a female player because they're like, oh, girls, like, you're a girl. It's like, no, I just want to play as like the same, like equal level as you, nothing different, right? So, but I also find that women can be driven away from it too, because there's certain games that women do like to play. Or I also find if you have a group of friends that do play the same game, then I'm more enticed to play that game, right? So, Canadian Syrup and I, we have certain games we play together all the time. There's games I play with Shiver, and so I'm not against going outside of my comfort zone and playing a different game that I usually wouldn't. I just like to have a bunch of people to go with, because most of the pubs that I play with, 90% aren't bad, 10% I would wish I'd never played with again.
Wait, there are more of me? All right, I had to do it.
I want to take a really quick aside and ask you, Paul, because I know that you've been playing a fair bit of it this week. Assassin's Creed?
Okay, so here's the thing. I just saw a review by someone who said this is a grindy, freemium mess of a game because they offer boosts and that kind of stuff. And I don't necessarily like the boosts and the loot box bullshit that Ubisoft likes to toss into things. But I haven't paid for a single boost and I'm having fun. It's just, and people are just a grindy game. It's a really big game.
It's huge.
And it makes sense for them to throw it and make it a little bit grindy because it's an RPG and you want people to feel accomplished. Does that mean that some people want to pay for boosts? Sure, if they're casuals. But there's nothing wrong with being a casual gamer. And this game, even if you're a casual gamer, this is one of those things that you could pick up and put down over the course of months. This is a game that will literally take months.
Let's be honest.
And it's a fun game.
Star Citizen is probably going to be very grindy.
Mm-hmm.
And you will probably be able to still buy ships after launch, and you'll probably be able to still buy some UEC after launch to speed up that grind if you want to be a dirty casual.
It probably will be.
Yeah. I mean, it's good.
Say that if you don't want to grind, you're a dirty casual.
Yes. Well, no, and
it's not so. I mean, it's going to be a grindy game. Yeah, yes, it is. I'm not going to dispute that. But you look at games like Warframe. Now that is a grind. No matter how you look at it, that's a grind. But they make it fucking fun.
Yeah.
They know how. It's a one-trick pony, Warframe, unlike Star Citizen, which is not one trick. But Warframe is a one-trick pony, which is combat, and it fucking excels at combat. And that is all you are doing, is going in and doing combat. But unlike, say, an MMO, where the most basic form of an MMO, you're going in, you're killing things, you're getting rewards. This is actually an interesting fight, rather than just tapping your abilities 1 through 5, collect reward, 1 through 5, collect reward. You've got to do a bit more thinking because it's real time and things, and that's going to be a factor as well.
Yeah,
but this is the thing is, in terms of Warframe, I play a lot of it.
Yeah.
A lot. CS and I do a lot of it. I like the grind. I like working for things. But it reminds me a little bit of what Star Citizen is trying to achieve, because they're introducing new content all the time.
Yeah.
And yes, sometimes for a limited time, but they host events, they do stuff like that. So they do put in new content every once in a while and then take it out, just like, oh, you have this much time to try and get all the pieces for this. So it gives you some purpose. And I feel like this is what Star Citizen is trying to do too, is because it's going to have a base level of play, but it's also going to have subsections of certain things that are going to keep you interested. And that's why Warframe has always been a big game for me, right? And it's really, really fun to play as a group.
Grind is not always bad. Diablo 2 is still one of my favorite games of all time.
Well, and that's the thing. It's like that's what I was my experience with Odyssey is that Odyssey makes me feel like I'm playing D&D.
Yeah.
Like in D&D, there's always a situation where like some DMs will throw you against a group or a monster that's too high for your level.
Yep.
To teach you that running away is not a bad option.
Yep.
Sometimes you get in over your head and you need to back out. And
that happens to me all the time in Odyssey so far. It's like, oh,
yeah.
no.
Nope, that guy is level 12 and I'm level 10. This is going to be bad. I'm going to run now. Bye-bye.
Oh, I was taking on an entire fort and mercenaries showed up to kill me. Yeah, I'm just going to run away now.
I'm just going to run away now. And if that's this is not fair, it's grindy and this is bullshit and you make you pay. It's like, no, it just forces you to think of more like sometimes it's just complete the mission, not kill the whole fort.
Get more creative.
Yeah, and I think that was the intentional design. And yeah, there are other things, and there are lots of DLCs and microtransactions and loot boxes and all that other kind of shit in there. But and a lot of people are complaining about that. But my response, my experience with that is just I tune it out now, and I don't bother unless it's worthwhile. But
I'm sorry, Shiver. I did that entirely to see your face.
I read it first, and then I read who it was, and I was like, "That's hilarious. That's confusing."
Oh, sorry about that, everyone.
I agree. For those of you who are watching, he made a comment about Grindr.
Yeah, I'm hilarious. Okay, so before we get to questions, please ask us some questions. Actually, do we even have any questions yet?
We didn't even go over the big.
I don't know. We're going to before we get to questions. I just want to reiterate the ask us some questions to make sure that we get some questions. Because we need some
I'm
questions.
sorry, but did you see what Sagareth typed? That was fucking gold.
What?
Don't Google Grindr when your son is sitting behind you.
I'm sorry.
Okay, so I'm glad that I'm continuing that tradition of being available when I mention things that no one has an idea what's going on, because I did the same thing about what was it? It was it wasn't Two Girls One Cup. It was Meat Spin. I told all these Australians about Meat Spin, and one of them, she on the captain's table, she Googled it right there, and she's like, maybe you should have told me what that was before I opened it in front of my kids behind me.
Oh no!
I was like,
oh no!
I feel good and bad about that.
I'm sure there's an internet rule about that. You know, do not just Google something randomly.
Never Google anything in front of your children, I think is the rule.
Well, pro tip, don't Google anything that Shiver tells you to Google.
There's that too. Throw us some more questions, please, because we've only got 2 so far, and if we don't get more, I'm going to sing...
My ding-a-ling.
I'm going to sing some Mary Poppins tunes.
Mary Poppins, y'all.
Okay, but before we get to that, where's this? Okay, so we got some really kind of big news this week that we've avoided talking to now to force people to watch, the entire show on YouTube.
Melissa Estrada's finally getting her own show?
Yes.
Long last.
Shiver's getting married, and he sent an invitation to her.
It's true. Did you?
Did you actually do that?
No.
Oh, I would if I could. I'd be like, sorry, too late now.
You missed out.
You missed out on this.
Well done.
Good call. So let's talk about 3.3. So they have re-added to 3.3 OCS. Not Hurston, not Hurston's Moons, not the expansive game size increase, playable size increase, but OCS is still hitting in 3.3. I personally think that that's fantastic. And I actually feel really, really good about all those people that were like, this is the worst thing ever when 3.5 was announced and everything is on fire and CIG are incapable of doing it. Hey, look, guess what? It was ready earlier.
And this was something that was originally moved back, right?
Yeah, it was moved back, and part of it has come back forward again.
Parts, though?
The important part. So we're not getting the planet of Hurston, but we are getting OCS, which supposedly, from what I have heard, might possibly improve frame rates for a lot of people. So
what they said on ATV was that they were getting, in some cases, triple-digit increases. I do not take that as gospel, because CIG has been known to promote themselves or to
overpromise.
They could be honest. Yeah. It could be a triple-digit increase, but they could have forgotten to say we included the decimal point.
Yeah, the decimal point. Yeah.
It could be triple-digit. All those digits are ones.
And for those of you who
3 FPS increase.
For those of you who may be watching this and are like, either live or It's like, hey, I've been following Star Citizen until now because we're trying to, or for a year because I wanted to wait for CitizenCon. OCS has been one of those things that's been off and on for a while in Star Citizen, and the hope is that it will improve performance. But don't count chickens before they're hatched, because we have no idea what it's going to be like when the entire community gets their hands on it.
Yeah.
But this is what happens every time, is everyone has high expectations, the patch goes out, and then everyone's like, why isn't this working like they said it would?
Yeah, it's true.
Yep.
Well, a lot of these things they don't stress test either, right? Because the first time it comes out, everybody's going to pile on and try to use it, and then they wonder why performance is terrible.
See,
Yeah, that's because CIG has 500 people in their employee, and only 30 or 40 of them are QA testers.
And it's
even
like,
in
this is
ETF, it's
working
like 800
great.
people.
Yes, but
Yeah.
with 30 people.
yeah. Well, it
Yeah.
is also important to remember that this is server-side OCS or client-side OCS. Sorry, Shiver. Go ahead. I'll let you do it.
No, that was
No,
exactly
no,
what I was going
I
to
know,
say. You
I
go
know.
for it. You beat me to it.
No, it's yours. Take it.
No, you go for it.
No, it's yours.
Okay, quit
Well-
being Canadian, Shiver, go.
It is just like you say. This is on your side. You can be seeing potentially a frame rate increase, but what I want to know is how is the server handling that? Because the server is still whatever the server is going to be ticking over at. I mean, I've heard people say 30. I've heard people say it's not 30. I know. That's. I want to know what these increases are going to be like for the server when that comes, because between the client side, between the server, that's going to give a lot of potential headroom for performance games, and that's when your hardware is going to be better used, and that's when your SSD, your internet connection, your RAM, and all that is really going to matter. At the moment now, it's almost all over the place. You can see people with a 1060, an SSD, 16 gig of RAM, and they can have stable 30 FPS if the server's in a good mood. And then you can have people with a fucking monstrous machine, and it's crapping all over the place. I want to know these server improvements. That's what I want to see the results of.
Now,
Well,
especially
that's a solid question for me. Has always been like, in the end, once this game is fully out, what percentage of players are actually going to be able to run it to its full potential, right?
yeah.
Like just the amount of stuff that's going in. Someone that maybe can't afford that monstrous build, am I still going to get some enjoyment out of that? Let's say Shiver has like top of the line rig, like new parts, everything. He can play it great, but then there's someone like me who's running a computer that's 3, 4, 5, 6 years old with older components. Am I still going to be able to run it at a good performance rate?
And the answer to all of that is always hopefully,
Mm-hmm.
but
Well,
there is going to be a
thing,
minimum, right?
I'm going to be that guy that nobody likes. CIG doesn't give a shit about your performance at this
Yeah.
stage. What they care about is their core tech, and OCS is an example of core tech that's going to allow them to reduce the memory usage on your machine so that they can produce more and more. They can go just absolutely crazy with all of their planets and their moons and their solar systems and all that kind of stuff. They
You
want to
became
be
Italian for a second there.
Yes, absolutely crazy.
It's crazy.
It's
Yeah,
crazy.
which is great, but in the end, if I pledged however much money and in the end I get very disappointed performance out of it, but guess what? I can't afford to upgrade my components to specifications that are required, then there's going to be a portion of the community that are going to be quite disappointed.
100%.
And
They're going to be like, we waited
there's
this many years for this game excitedly, and I can't run it.
There is
But if
a
you've been
anecdote that
waiting
I
for
always
5 or
have
6
to.
years.
There's an anecdote that we have to mention here, which is Wing Commander, which when Wing Commander launched, most people's PCs could not run Wing Commander, and people had to specifically upgrade their PCs.
There are graphics cards. Many people had to buy a graphics card
because it was one of the first games that was like, this requires a graphics card to play. You can't play it if you don't have one. So Star Citizen is never going to be something that's like, wow, you can turn it down to it only showing 3 pixels on screen and anyone can run it on a friggin' phone at this point. But CIG want to push tech to its limits, but also especially with things like OCS. OCS is going to make it so that when you're in a large area like Port Olisar, you only are loading in the things that you need to. And that is a big difference, because lots of games you have to load everything. And that is what kind of weighs on computers.
Well, which will help quite largely, but just in like my biggest concern, Canadian Syrups video card went, graphics card went. He borrowed a much lower one. He can't even run Deep Rock Galactic at a good frame rate.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So he finally ordered a new one because he got the money to do it, which is great. But in the end, it just makes you worry that by the time this is coming out, a lot of us won't have updated our machines.
I will say, if you can run it now,
I don't think you have a concern, because one of those things, as you said, if you run it now, you can probably run it in releases. But also in 5 years, a lot of the graphics cards that will be able to run it when this game actually comes out.
But can I afford it? That's the thing. Graphics cards nowadays are not affordable.
Well, that's because the top of the line, like last I heard, the 770s and the 780s could run this. I'm looking at a 780 right now.
Once in
5,
3
6 years, technology will have changed a lot. Now, what we're using right now, I've got a 6700K, which is virtually, technically in the same family as the 7XXX series. The tech hasn't advanced much. They've done some die shrinks and things like that, but it's not like the great leap forward they've done, breaking the gigahertz barrier and so on and so on. By 5 or 6 years, we should have some really nice new technology working in hardware, if we haven't all burned ourselves in a massive nuclear fire, of course.
Just for example, the 1050 Ti, which could probably run this game at release, because it has 4 gigabytes GDDR5, and DirectX 12 support, is 186 US.
So that's about 500. That's about 500 Canadian.
That's expensive, but that's one that just came out, and it'll probably drop, but I doubt it'll get lower than $100 for graphics cards in general. That's just the nature of the beast.
Well, and that's the thing. A lot of components that are sold, the best ones to get, you have to bring in from the U.S. and the U.S. exchange to the Canadian dollar right now. It's not
so
amazing.
Bad. Oh, it's so bad. Anyway, I mean, I'm running a 1070. I run Star Citizen fine. I run Assassin's Creed Odyssey at highest everything on.
Are you enjoying Spartan kicking your way around Greece?
It's the only move I use. But I was actually really disappointed. I snuck up on a guy. He's on a cliffside. I snuck up to him, and I didn't want to assassinate him. I wanted to kick him off, and I kicked him. And as he fell, he was like, "The gods will remember me!" And then everyone in the camp was alerted because of his scream, and I was really pissed off.
It's like, way to go!
You douchebag!
Why would you do that?
That's why you do such a thing as a stealth kill, right?
But I didn't
like ninja acrobatics, where it's like.
But if I stealth kill him, he just dies. I wanted to kick him off.
Oh, it's so satisfying. I'm all about the stealth kills.
There's also the famous. There's the leader that you have to kill, or you choose to kill or not kill. That option, and then if you choose to kill him, his second comes up and tries to fight you, and you're fighting on a cliff. And so many people are like, "He's on a cliff. I'm just gonna Spartan kick him off it, and he's gonna die." Problem is that he's invincible to Spartan kicking. He falls and then doesn't take any damage.
That's amazing.
So it's like, what? That's the perfect ending to a boss fight, and you're gonna not let me get the Spartan kick finish? So
it's a good game so far. That's what I'll say.
Sorry, I mean, you mentioned
I
didn't know you actually had it, so yeah.
No, I have it. I've been playing.
But no, and someone else said like the 760 or 770 can run it pretty decently. So the thing is that at the end of and I was going to say this, at the end of the release, I think it'll be optimized to run for most PCs.
Yeah.
Which would be great, because like if it ends up being like David said, and we end up only loading in what you necessarily need, then I think it should be okay. But if it's just the transition from one to another, right? Because if it ends up being, okay, you're adjacent to these components, which you can go into to make it a faster transition point, we have to load this one, and this one, because they're the closest to you. So it's one of these things where now that you're in central point A, but you have B, C, and D really close, to make it faster so you don't have to have loading screens or loading times, then we'll load in those as well. Well, that could make it much more complicated, right?
Yeah.
I will say that I think that the most, you will still have to have 16 gigabytes of RAM. I think that's probably going to be the reality. And most people don't. Most people only have 8 because that's what is required for most PCs. But I think by the time Star Citizen actually releases, 16 will at least be the minimum. Because it's been the minimum for me since I've been building rigs. And a lot of folks have been, just because it's the cheapest, or it's the thing you could skimp on. It doesn't have a huge performance issue, so people usually skimp on the RAM.
Yeah.
But
see, and I know nothing about computers, but I know a lot of computer nerds.
Yeah,
then you're good. There are going to be a lot of people that need to upgrade their rigs for Star Citizen.
There will be, but it won't be what you think. It'll be something. It won't be like graphics cards that people freaking out about.
This might be a weird idea. Now. This might be a little bit too socialist for everyone. But what if, right? Because there's going to be a lot of us that are upgrading their already fairly good rigs for Star Citizen. You know, it's like maybe not get the top of the range, but then you're going to have a load of people in the community that have got this old PC that's still pretty good, but they didn't, you know, people want 120 frames per second at the highest setting.
Are you saying cool, like,
you know? But what if you've got these bits left over? You could no, don't just give them away. That's stupid. Sell them at a reasonable price to someone else in the community first, maybe.
Then we should set up a Star Citizen part exchange.
Yeah,
there you go.
What do you need? And connect people to, because I'm sure there's a lot of us that upgrade our rigs all a lot.
We joked about at one point when Star Citizen actually came out to like send like 100 SSDs filled with the game to Australia, and then having them pass it around and it's different Australians because their internet was so bad that they could just like transfer the SSDs over. You know,
well, it's funny because actually Wolf from the community actually a couple of years ago now, he sent me my graphics, my GPU had died, and he sent me one of his spare ones because he had just upgraded his machine. So it does happen.
My entire computer was generously built by people from the community. I had a life situation change. I had to leave my computer behind, and I had about 20 people throw in money and parts, and they built my computer. So there is that out there. But it's one of these things that in terms of upgrading parts, now that I have the base build generously given to me by people, I would like to try and anything further to do myself, right?
Yeah.
Well, and I was just going to mention, I think Shiver's biggest problem is going to be his internet. Not so much his rig.
As
Send
Shiver
me packets
stalls.
of data.
Yeah.
He's probably almost just on dial-up still, almost.
It's not much better.
I mean, let's be clear. By the time Star Citizen launches, Starlink will be up and running, so we're all just going to have satellite internet through Tesla. So
at what cost, though? That's the thing.
Well, here's the thing: I pay for internet with my phone and pay for internet at home. With Starlink, I don't have to pay for both.
Yeah.
So that means like I save. Even if it's almost the same almost the same cost, then I'm spending more for better results, for better download speeds.
Yeah, I'm really excited for Starlink.
And single source.
I'm really excited.
Hopefully, Shiver's moving to a place with really good internet.
So he's moving away from the island, man.
Okay,
from an island in the center of the.
We got a number of questions now, so I'm going to start with these questions.
We have a man rowing every morning over the lake with the internet. He brings us the latest in the emails and tells us what the memes are.
Gets really awkward sometimes.
Don't ever mail anything to the island because it goes by donkey cart.
Getting your porn from him is fierce awkward. He looks at it all first.
Oh, it's terrible.
Yes. Sir Barkers, the Duke of Barkington, asks, what pets do you think CIG devs should bring into the fold? Would they benefit from more cute kittens or a greater variety of canines?
Cats. Absolutely cats. I'm going to have a shit cat.
You know what they need? They need live snakes to just snake around the office, just hugging
Danger
the
noodles.
tables. Danger noodles.
I think they need seals. They just need a room of seals.
Well, he
and
comes in and starts singing for them.
No, you.
Kiss of the rose. Yes.
Yeah, exactly. But many of them, not just one. It's like a chorus of seals.
Chorus of seals.
Yeah.
Oh,
Snakes on a plane.
Okay, good.
Oh.
No, honestly, cats and or similar creatures would be a great addition, because then CIG could at least understand what it's like to live with cats, so that like when Jay Lee is trying to make that final touch, the cat just jumps up and sits on his keyboard and clicks it. So just like, whoosh, and he looks up at him like, "Pet me now. You're done with making spaceships. Pet me." Oh, you heard we're talking about you, did you? Huh? Come on.
And I feel like it's within their reach to build smaller things quicker than a very complex animal.
I want rabbits.
Why?
You know, in game, I'd love to see cats just hanging around like Lorville.
Yeah,
like, seeing him in the alleyway or something like that. You know, that's kind of.
They need to have
war
subsumption on cats, and the cats have their schedules. Yeah.
I don't know why. It came into my head. You're walking around Lorville, and Astra said that about cats, and suddenly I'm just thinking, on Lorville, Kajita's wares.
Yes.
Wait, wasn't that the?
Well, just nobody go visit David's spaceship because he wants rabbits. So you're gonna walk in and there's just gonna be tribbles.
Okay,
everywhere.
there have to be tribbles. There have to be tribbles somewhere in Star Citizen.
Yes.
I mean,
Tribble rabbits.
There have to be. You don't do anything science fiction without somewhere referencing tribbles.
Well, that's like tribble rabbits.
Yeah. Shadinturg asks, since they both can be bought next week, Drake Kraken or Pixie 3 XL? I mean, one of those might possibly be useful to you in real life, but I'd say neither. Pixie 3 XL. So neither. Save your money for something that matters.
So people have been joking that depending on what the Kraken ends up being, it'll probably end up being something that I would want to use for the Astropub. Problem is
are these
that I don't have six.
Released?
Yeah. Right. So
okay.
So essentially, CIG, as you know, has pretty much released every concept idea they've ever had. So even if it didn't actually make the cut in their voting and stuff like that, they end up making it anyways. So the last round of concept choices was Drake, and it was the Vulture, the Corsair, which was kind of like a medium Connie style ship, and the Kraken, which was supposed to be this big, like mobile space station. And we ended up voting for the Vulture because it was an intro level salvage ship, and everyone's like, "Yeah, let's do the intro level salvage ship."
We made the right choice, clearly.
Yeah.
But CIG are still like, well, we still like these other ideas. Why don't we just keep making them? Yeah.
And so a lot of people feel like the Vulture or the Corsair turned into the Star Runner, the last concept ship, because it fills a lot of the roles that they were kind of talking about. And so it leaves the Kraken, which is the only ship that they hinted at that haven't actually made. And ever since 2016, they've released very expensive large ships and concept at CitizenCon. So.
And what's the second one? That second one you mentioned.
The Corsair?
No. What is that other one that you mentioned, David? It was the Kraken or
Pixie.
What
is that? Nobody knows.
Not offhand, no.
I don't fairies when you said that.
I also don't believe that they've confirmed that the Kraken is going to be there. But
yeah.
CitizenCon this year is sponsored by Drake.
Is that in case the whole auditorium falls down on everyone inside, their liability insured?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the Pixel's just a cell phone.
CEO Drake, so.
A ham sandwich asks, what are you hoping to see at the Road to Release end panel? I'm hoping to see the Road to Release.
Nothing specific?
I just want to see, okay, this is what we have left to do before we release, and this is when we're planning on releasing. Done.
You want actually dates?
No, I don't want dates. I want, this is what we have left to do, and this is our planned window. Q4 2019 is the window we're hoping to hit.
They're terrible at Windows, though.
They're worse at dates.
Then they should switch to Linux.
And actually, let's be clear, they have been very good this year hitting their dates.
Yeah, they've hit 3.1, 3.2, and 3.3 was delayed, but that was mostly a shifting rather than a...
Well, releasing the patches, but they've still changed content within said patches, though.
Yeah.
But then they brought some back. I mean, we're still getting the biggest part of 3.3.
Yeah, but we've also lost all of
I hate to be the guy that pisses on everyone's chips, but I'm going to have to piss on everyone's chips. It's called Road to Release. It's going to be about Squadron coming out, or it's going to be about Star Citizen coming out. Yeah, I fucking hope so, but I really doubt it's going to be that. It's probably going to be something like, well, we've come this far, and it's going to take us, probably years to get over to this Road to Release. But in the meantime, we've got lots of stuff coming for you, so be excited. But don't expect... Squadron's going to come out in 6 months. We're releasing the roadmap for Squadron, which means it's 1 year out. Don't expect it. It's going to be fucking great if they do. I really hope they do, but don't.
You think it's just going to be bullshit? You think it's just pure, unadulterated CIG bullshit? By the way, we're selling.
It's going to be like next month you can pay $300 to watch me eat a Christmas cake. The week after that, you can pay $20 to watch a Christmas stream live. That sort of thing.
Yeah.
Never forget, they did fuck up.
2016, never forget. Never forget. I know. I remember the 3 hour long freaking presentation on Spectrum in 2016.
And shit happens, but it really, for CitizenCon, to think that Spectrum is a good backup plan, it's not a good backup plan.
And that was the one SitCon I actually attended, and it was sorely disappointing.
It wasn't bad with the people met, but...
No. Like, meeting the people in community was terrific, but the actual presentation itself was super bad.
Night of the Living Zale asks, Eris, will you be singing Hamilton while sitting on the 1-to-1 scale Dragonfly at CitizenCon?
And who says there's a 1-to-1 scale?
We managed to get
we know that. They said it, I think, in one of the releases.
Early light,
it's made by JR Publications, the guys who made the Raven last year and for CitizenCon, and they make all the equipment, stands and stuff like that.
Fastcart asks, Shiver, did you like the song that I requested for the Friday night show?
It was all right, but I think Michael Jackson's cover was better.
Brave Star 1, in regards to the Phoenix, do you think they should have taken one of the guest bedrooms and made it into a bathroom for the VIP guests instead of sharing the tiny little box of a bathroom in the crew area?
No, it's a spaceship.
It's a spaceship.
Have you ever been to the first class on a plane? Everyone has one tiny little bathroom on a plane. Even in like a private jet, there's one little bathroom.
For everybody.
For everyone. If that one D-bag from that one billionaire D-bag in first class decides to absolutely wreck that bathroom, guess what? Everyone in first class who paid a lot of money is not going to be able to use that bathroom.
Just be glad you have a bathroom in the Phoenix.
Yeah.
Fastguard asks, Stormy, I like your shirt. How many washes will the shirt last before it loses its TARDIS blue?
I don't know. I've only ever washed it once. But I've only ever worn it twice.
It is a good shirt.
I have a whole pile of Comic-Con shirts I've bought, and I really don't get through them as fast as I should.
Yes.
See, you can't even see all of it, because on this side of the shirt, in the dark, there's a weeping angel that will glow.
Oh, no.
So,
no.
Yeah,
I am a shirt collector, and making this decision to wear suit and tie every time I go live has killed me, because I have so many shirts that my wife complains about it. My wife is all about trying to keep things simple, and she's like, "Why do you have so many shirts?"
Because they're cool.
You have because I like to wear them and it's nice to have a variety. But
I
really
am
cool,
bringing
but yeah.
I am bringing one nice outfit to CitizenCon, and the rest is going to be just t-shirts I love. I'm showing up to most things in a friggin' t-shirt. I don't even care this year. Last year I wore a collar, or not last year. 2 years ago I wore a collar and bow tie every single day, and my neck bled. This year, t-shirts, except for CitizenCon. Nighthawk Zale asks, sorry, I can't read right now. What are each of you looking forward to seeing or hearing at CitizenCon? And what are you least interested in seeing or hearing at CitizenCon? Well, I'm least interested in seeing or hearing Disco Lando. That was a joke.
because we saw nothing but him in between, like in the very early 2017.
Yes.
Like for like a fucking hour while they were setting everything up.
No, I don't care about most of the panels, actually. Strangely enough. I don't really care about the art of Hurston. I don't really care about
I thought
sound
you wanted
design.
you were looking forward to the presentation by Tony Zurvik.
I am most looking forward to Tony talking for an hour. That's my most anticipated thing. Like more so, I am more looking forward to that than like Chris's Road to Release presentation. Paul, Shiver, Stormy, anyone else looking forward to anything from?
I'm looking forward to getting drunk with fans and friends.
I don't
go to Citizen. I don't go to CitizenCon for like
Star Citizen
stuff. Like it's like going to a convention for a specific game that's being released. It's like a PAX or something like that. It's like I get it, but you get in line, you wait that 4 hours, you get there, and you get to play the game, and then you get out.
You know what? No, I'm more excited to go to Houston.
What the fuck are you gonna do? Yeah. When are you guys going to Houston, by the way?
It's the Thursday, the day after. No,
I can't make it then.
Why not?
We got a bunch of things we're doing in Austin for it. We've got a brunch, and we're going to the range to fire off some real weapons. And
no one told us about a range. We're going to Houston.
I just found out about it recently. So yeah,
Houston.
I know.
NASA.
I know.
With it's not just NASA. This is NASA with Nakara, who probably knows more about NASA than NASA.
But
I mean, if I went down to
keep in
Houston,
mind,
I would actually be
David,
talking to those people. But
he lives in the area, and it's a day trip for him.
yeah, it's a 2-hour trip.
Oh, you suck. No, I'm really excited for that, actually. I'm just going to move on to the next question. Sly5 asks...
Did Shiver have anything?
Shiver didn't comment when I asked him to.
We're the only ones not
I'm looking
attending
forward
out
to
of the
going to
bunch.
bed at 3 a.m. when the fucking stream we're doing finishes.
Yeah.
But that's the thing.
Shiver?
I kind of am really disliking this whole idea of it being on a Wednesday. I work.
Yes.
I have obligations
I'll be
right after
right back.
work, and I won't be home until probably 8:30 that night. So I'm not seeing the stream live. Which is a big thing. Which isn't a big thing because I haven't watched it live for like 2-3 years now. So, but lore, I want to see the lore presentation. That's big for me. So it's really interests me. They always have interesting stuff. Like the last one they did was the languages, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that interests me. And what I'm not looking forward to, I think the big thing is the possibility of this being another 2016. I don't think it will be, but there was high anticipation for 2016, and it ended up being overhyped.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the biggest concern too. And not just that, but now they're doing it in front of 2,500 people instead of like 800.
And yes, Nubsley, that is exactly why I go to cons. It's a picture of me at CitizenCon 2016 interviewing Eris, Geo, and Grakis for the captain's table. So.
Sly5 asks, when we get closer to release, do you think that our ships will be locked to the last port that they landed at, making us have to hire alternate transportation services to move our ships around, or will we just be able to spawn our ships wherever we feel like, much like we have now?
It'll be locked. 100% will be locked. And that's...
So to like a home port?
Well, no. So like if you go to if you spawn at your home port, because you get to choose your home port, and then you take your ship out and you take it to like, say, Magnus, the Magnus system, and you park your ship in one of the ports in the Magnus system. When you log out, you'll log back in at that port in the Magnus system, and your ship will be there, but you'll have to have paid. You have to pay document fees to get that ship out of the hangar, and then but you can keep your ship in that hangar. It's not going to like revert back.
Almost like, okay, I logged out. Now you've impounded my ship.
Yes.
That
you have to pay. You have to.
You parked illegally here.
As for the second part, I don't think you're going to see an NPC be able to pilot your ship somewhere else. I doubt it, because things like that have been mentioned. They've always been very much against you being able to do anything unless you're actually at the keyboard and doing it yourself. You might be able to put it in a big package and then have the package loaded onto a Hulley and transported to you that way. But I don't think you're going to get like the X series levels of things where you have a fleet of ships that you're directly commanding.
No.
Here's the question though too then. Will they allow you to let friends fly it back? Like if you say, oh, Shivers, right next to my ship, I'm like 5 systems away, but he's willing to fly it back to me. Like, can he?
probably yes.
Yeah. Now,
more importantly, when I do something wrong with someone else's ship, will that be on my criminal record, or will it go on Stormy's because it was her ship?
It'll go on
will
yours.
His insurance pay for it because he blew up my ship?
It'll go on your criminal record, but it will also go on the record of the ship, because ships will have records as well.
Records. Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's awful.
Yes,
Yeah.
don't lend your
So
shit to Shiver.
nobody's gonna do anything for anyone. Yeah, no, not doing it.
Though I do believe I would 100% bet that because the Elite has this, which is the ability to pay for your ship to be transported to a different port.
That
would be less, and that would be less of a you get your NPC to fly your ship, and more of, hey, you're paying either a player or an NPC to load your ship onto another ship, like an Idris or like a Hull E or something like that, and
David,
like walk it down and then travel it
it's
to
on
wherever you
stream.
go.
What?
Yeah.
Oh,
you're
damn it. I
scrolling-
forgot.
Yeah.
Sorry.
It's gonna be like, unless you had someone else read all your messages.
Sorry.
Quick, everyone send him duck pics.
I forgot that I can't actually go through and look at my Discord history while we're streaming. I needed to get
That's
something.
why you have to have your phone with Discord. That's what you need.
I need Discord on web while I'm doing. I just forgot.
That
Sorry.
too. You can do that.
So in follow up to that though, is that going to be like a mission that's going to be given though? Like, let's
I
say,
don't know.
such and such player
That's a good question.
needs this transported. I have a Hull E and I have a transportation company. Can I pick this up for a cost?
Yes.
I bet you it will. But
they're testing that out with the beacon system right now of, I need a pickup here, right? And you come pick me up and you get money. There's going to be that mission creation system of, I have these goods, I need them transported. I will pay you X to transport them.
I can see this getting extremely complicated, because what if it's set on by pirates in the middle of that? I know this company will have insurance, but let's say their entire shipment gets blown up, everything's in pieces.
That's the risk you have to take. And then you rate the person that you hired to guard it 0 stars, and they get a bad rating on their record. I'm gonna post. So coming up at CitizenCon, Relay is going to be there. We've got a number of us there. Too many of us, some might think. Anyway, some of us.
You're talking about not enough.
Yeah, not
I
enough.
feel offended and sad.
I know. I'm sorry. The ones I want there are there, and then the other ones that I also want there aren't.
Oh,
I want everyone to be there, and they're not. But also, there's a lot of us. Anyway.
You pulled that one out of the fire real quick.
I know. I'm talking about Jake. Rudy's right. I don't want Jake to be there. It's everyone else. Jake and Dolak, man.
Just tell Dolak not to bring the plane flu this year.
Oh, God. He was so bad. Anyway, actually, Dolak and Jake came up with a killer drinks list that...
Mm-hmm.
Is it literally a killer drinks list?
Yes. But I am going to post in chat a Google Forms. That Google Forms is to ask us a question that you want us to ask CIG at the event. Some of us
Except
are
me, because you deleted my question.
I didn't delete it. I just put it in red for do not ask. But we're probably going to get some time to ask some CIG devs some stuff. So if you have questions such as can we pay yes, Sheep Citizen, what's your question?
No, it's just, Sheep Citizen's just really.
Where's the Melissa Estrada show?
Yeah, that's what Sheep Citizen.
That's the question.
Throw us. This is not for questions today. This is for questions next week when we get to hopefully talk to some CIG devs. There's no chance that we'll ask your question. There's no chance that they'll answer it. But throw us some questions on there, and we'll at least give it our college try. No.
College try doesn't sound like a very
It doesn't
good effort.
sound good anymore. I was saying it and was like, wait, I don't know if college is a good thing anymore. Let's move on to the next question.
Yes.
Spaceship Training Wheels asks, what are some effective ways you think the community can advocate for more diversity in Star Citizen? Bonus question, is there a member of the community with prosthetic limb that can do motion capture?
Ooh, that's interesting.
Probably
I feel
are.
like, yeah.
Bless you.
The number of service members we have.
Yeah, there's
gotta be
probably.
someone with a prosthetic limb, and if not, I know it's CIG. I know lots of veterans who have prosthetic limbs who would be willing to do motion capture for you, as just for the experience.
Yeah,
you know,
We'd be willing to cut off a few of Eris's limbs to help as well.
No, I have like no brain, but they've got that covered. I don't know, Shiver. Just leave
there's
me
also a
alone
lot
today.
of things that I think CIG could learn from veterans in terms of how people move in combat, and how people react in combat, because they don't react the way you think they do. A lot of times in video games, it's like, oh yeah, we're gonna flank him and it's kind of stuff. But there's we need to make sure that the NPCs swear all the time and shout at the top of their lungs, and use acronyms
and
which you don't
anachronisms.
understand.
Yeah.
Anachronisms, whatever.
It's a language unto themselves.
Yes, and it should sound foreign to anybody who doesn't understand it, and it should be different based off of where you are, because each culture will have it. In terms of like diversity, CIG actually has built a lot of diversity into the lore. There's a lot of diversity in their lore. My issue is not necessarily like there's not enough diversity. It's that there's a lot of diversity in the lore, and there isn't a lot of diversity in the leadership. Like even if you look at like Squadron 42, most of the main cast is white, which is not bad. Chris
male.
Roberts and male, yeah, and it's not necessarily a bad thing. It's what Chris Roberts has done for a long time, but there's even more diversity in the original Wing Commander than there is in Squadron 42. Like most of the pilots in the original Wing Commander were like, he literally went around and tried to, of course, stereotypes. So it was not so great because he's using stereotypes, but I'll forgive it. He was like 18 at the time, but he had a like a Japanese woman.
First wingman that was your first wingman, Spirit.
Yeah, the Spirit, and then you had I think it was Paladin.
Scott.
No, it wasn't Paladin. It was
Paladin was Scott.
Was Scottish, and then there was
That's not really diverse, is it?
there was, I mean, like they had a like an African black African pilot. They had Spirit, who was the like Japanese pilot. They had what was her name? The one that they ended up making the love interest in
Angel.
Angel, who was French. And then you had I can't remember all of them because I never actually finished the whole way through. But I know there was a lot more for diversity even in the pilots there than you have in Squadron 42. And it's not necessarily, again, I'm trying to like back away.
Also, keep in mind,
like,
we don't know.
There's a lot of room
for
this to evolve into something else, right? Like we're still talking about, they don't, like we said, they don't have female character models in yet. That's going to be a big step once they actually get there. It's not that they don't plan it, it's just they haven't implemented yet. So this has to be open for some flexibility.
And we've seen so little of Squadron 42 so far that who knows, something else might come up.
Yeah. And there's still a lot of time for mission givers to be diversified. And maybe they're just doing this because this is what they had on hand. These are the people they had who could work with them. That's fine. That's not an issue. My issue is that now that we're moving towards more mission givers and more locations, CIG should probably be thinking about this crazy diverse. Have a Scottish black man, giving you orders to go find, it's like a bounty hunter. I don't know, like just go crazy. Like it's the future. Be nuts. There should be crazy names and stuff everywhere.
Okay, we've actually got more questions than I thought we'd get, and we've only got about 15 minutes left. So we're going to do
a fire round.
Yeah, we're going to do a fire round to cut these down a little bit, starting with Shiver. Spaceship training wheels. Fast cart uses a fast cart. I use a slow cart, manual wheelchair. Can we, the community, advocate for a mission giver that uses an awesome futuristic hover chair?
Yes.
Yes, but his name has to be Xavier.
Paul, Spartan Boots Inc. asks, why not stealth kill first and then Spartan kick the corpse off a cliff?
Because that's not as fun. You want to hear him scream as he's going down. I'll get you, gadget, or whatever.
It's like you'd still hear the thud of the body as it hits, and that's not going to wake anyone up, right?
Melissa Estrada's stunt double asks, is the revamped flight system part of 3.3, or is it supposed to be a later release?
Don't ask me. I know I was next, but...
I think that's going to be a later release. I think.
I shiver.
Some of it's coming in 3.3, I think.
Is it? Okay.
I think some.
So, Stormy, Fast Cart asks, right now players can kill themselves to reset their characters. It could be used as for instantaneous travel. Do you think that this feature will make it to live release?
It's a cheat. I feel like it's a cheat. I'm like, oh, I just can't be bothered to do the work, so let's do the shortcut. I feel like it won't. Like,
we're back to Shiver. Judo asks, now that OCS is moving a lot of loading to other processing threads, do you think that systems with more than 4 processors will see a big performance improvement?
No, because OCS isn't multi-core support.
Thanks for the...
Sorry,
1 second. I'm not far
enough. It's going to help with everything, and it's going to help with certain threads being processed. But what CIG want is proper multi-core support, which they will probably have to do themselves, because a lot of games, even with multi-core support, they will start to crap out with 6 cores or more. There's no game on the planet, as far as I know, that will use even half of a Threadripper's cores. But CIG want to just basically say, make the game aware that you've got this much hardware and use as much of it as possible as well as it can. But OCS will help with different things, but not with your hardware using more cores.
I here have a 4-beer surprise pack of beer that I'm going to open and see what's in it, because I have no idea what's in it.
Well, ask the next question.
While I delve into my cavern of beer, Paul, Fast Cart asks, when I get to Austin, can I get a picture of Paul stroking me like he stroked his cat?
Maybe.
I feel like that all depends on your comfort zone.
Yes. I mean, I'm willing to go pretty far there.
And if your wife's okay with it,
she'll be there. Her rules always stands. I just need to be able to be there, and I need to be able to work for it. That's all.
Ooh.
We'll see what we can do, Fast Cart. We'll see what we can do.
Sorry about that. Next, Melissa Estrada's stunt double has Paul been in talks with CIG to create an actual astropub within the verse? I think he could have a good shot at this for all the great content he does. Just saying.
Good
I
shot.
like how I like how a good shot, yes, but I also like how you brought this up for Paul not being like, hey, has Relay talked with CIG to have like a relay station in verse, like a relay news? Thanks. Like that's a real shot.
Hang on a minute.
That is a real shot to my ego here.
Hang on. That was a really nice shot glass. You know, could we get some more of that? What if
Yeah.
I wanted one of those shot glasses, Astro?
Well,
Where can
if
I get one?
You can get one by coming to CitizenCon, and if you're not, you can be a subscriber to this channel, or you can join us tomorrow or Saturday for a fundraising. After about $60, you yourself can earn a shot glass for pledging for the Astropub to get beer and PC parts and
Stuff.
feed his cat.
By the way,
and the first 20 people that find David at CitizenCon can have a coaster.
not the first 20, the first several. I don't know how many coasters I'm going to have left.
That's what I said. That's why you got to be quick.
Yeah, you got to be quick. I do have some relay coasters, but I do have to give a bunch of them away to people like Paul, who gets a
So you're
relay
gonna be
coaster.
like, you have like 5 left.
Probably.
And also, it's important to note, I don't want CIG to make a real Astropub in game because I feel like that would take away from the novelty of me being able to do an Astropub out of like a bar, out of like a 890 or 600 or like some other like establishment, maybe even a Phoenix.
I don't want CIG to make relay in game because then there would be some questions as to who owns relay the thing. Because if they put it in game, is their like they can't without us like signing over the license to relay. I just hope that they make a game where we can make relay in game.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I just hope that I can serve drinks at
But
it.
what if they made it in game for your use?
That'd be cool.
Like it was an asset they put in game and said, hey, just because we really respect what you guys do, we've made an Astropub. We've made a relay station.
I think that would be
nothing
great.
to do with us, but you guys can use this at your discretion.
But then what if they had done that for INN?
Did it for who?
Exactly.
INN.
Exactly.
Oh, sorry.
It's okay.
But no, I would like to see the mechanics. I wouldn't necessarily like to see the actual location. I would be flattered if CIG did, but I'd rather them not, because if it's for my use, then it's for somebody else's use as well, because it's the nature of the game.
But locks your profile, maybe.
That would be
You would
that.
have to pay
I would
them
be
probably.
completely against that. I'd be completely against that, because that's them using assets to make something for me. I'm just one backer. There are many other backers out there. And
make the
that's not
game
what I
so
want.
that we can all do that stuff inverse and anyone can. I mean, Paul will have his pub, but then GHG could have his and the base will have theirs. Make it so that everyone can do what they want. I don't think that they should tailor any of their content specifically to one particular backer. Okay, let's get through a couple more of these because I don't know if there's going to be a relay station next week. It's going to depend on how I feel after I get home. Spaceship Training Wheels asks, wait, who are we up to? I think we're up to Stormy.
Yeah, that's it.
Not a perfect comparison, but will Red Dead Redemption 2 set a benchmark for what subsumption AI aspires to achieve with NPCs? And can CIG really hope to compete with Rockstar's resources?
See, I've never even played the game, so I was the wrong person to ask on that. So I've
We're
heard
just
of
doing
it.
the round
I've
table.
never played the first one, so that would be a David question.
Single player game.
Yeah.
That's all I'm gonna say.
Single player, and we'll see what Squadron 42 does with some solution. Haramis asks, Shiver, RSI camera seems to come. Do you think that this device will be distributed only by CIG, or might it find its way into normal electronics stores and warehouses?
Who buys anything in a store?
Good question.
People
Amazon.
who go outside.
I can see there'll be licensed vendors. I mean, there's this small people that are based only on the internet that you can go to their site, browse their catalog, and they also have third-party sellers. That what was it? Rainforest or something. That they might stock it.
Paul, Fastcart asks, last year they had a Saber Raven model. This year they'll have a 1-to-1 Dragonfly prop. What in the world will they have next year? A 1-to-1 Ursa Rover?
Cyclone or a Tonk, a 1-to-1 Tonk.
Next year they'll have a game.
Yes! We hope.
I'm just gonna wait for chat. I want to watch this.
I'm just wondering what kind of shape that prop's going to be in at the end of it.
Oh, it's gonna have
Like how many pieces?
27.
It's Drake. It's supposed to look like
42.
shit, you know. But it's designed just for the event. So like CIG can like box it up and keep it in their storage if they want to, but they don't need to have to pull it out again.
I'm
It's one of
sorry.
those
I
things
thought
I'm
that
sure-
one was great. I feel warm
I'm
and
sure-
fuzzy for that.
I feel like CIG will take that prop at
Yeah.
like the big dinosaur they had for that ARC had for its conventions.
Yeah, it's gonna.
They'll pop it out for like Gamescom when they have it. They'll have it and be like, "Go take a picture on the dragonflies." People are like, "Oh look, it's a speeder," you know.
Or they could hang it from the ceiling of their coffee room.
Yeah, something like
on
that.
a fan, and it's zooming dragon flying around.
You will assume that Fastcart isn't going to steal it.
Yeah,
Oh, he's gonna steal it.
he's taking
Yeah.
it. He
I
is
think
going to
the
fly it
community's
right
gonna
out of
assist
there.
with that.
Yeah.
FC's going to fly it right out of there. Okay, Mary Boff Kill asks, wait, who are we at? Are we at Stormy now? Yes.
Is it a question I can answer?
Mary Boff Kill, 300 series, 600 series, Phoenix.
I have to pick one?
Which
It's
would you
like-
marry? Which would you boff? And which would you kill?
What's boff?
I believe it is
yeah.
parlance for screw. Copulate with. Fornicate.
Fornication! Fornication!
Fuck.
Is it water
None.
on
I
the
plan
knee?
to live alone on a
Fornication.
planet by myself.
So the answer is none. They can
None.
all die.
They all die. Okay. I like it. I like it. Shiver, a ham sandwich asks, what level of fashion customization would you like to have by the end of next year?
I just want to walk around like a fucking space cowboy all in black. After I don't care.
This one's for you, Space Cowboy.
But people call me Maurice.
Paul,
gangster
oh my god. Space Paul, Ship Paul, Training Paul, Wheels Paul asks, so little time in my life right now. So many people working. Immediately after CitizenCon, can Relay please rate the different panels out of 10 with brief descriptions?
Well, it's
Oh,
just
that might be fun.
you're just in luck because right after CitizenCon, a certain David, aka Eris, is going to be watching every single panel once and commenting on it every day for like a week, right?
Until we get through all the panels.
And every day till they get through all the panels. So you can not only watch it, but I'm sure David and his crew who are watching will make a small summary on relay.sc. Your news for abbreviation news in Star Citizen.
It's true. Honestly, right after the con, we are probably not going to rate anything because we're not going to be able to watch all of them. I actually don't still know what press access means. I don't even know if we're going to watch some of them live. There's always two going on
Wait, you guys
on
have
at a
press
time.
access?
Yeah.
Okay.
We requested it and we're apparently given it. I don't know why. But
They
I'll
don't
take
watch
it.
you. That's why.
Exactly.
I
But-
think it's because me, Desmarius, and Sunjammer, and sometimes Stormy all do the transcribing.
It's true. Anyway, a couple of us, not all of us, but a couple of us got press access.
And just to note,
But-
most of our transcript team is going to be at SitCon,
It's
so
true.
don't expect a transcript.
There will not be a transcript of it. We'll do some coverage after the event when I get home, and make up for the fact that I've been gone and apologize profusely to my girlfriend and daughter. But then we're gonna start up the coverage again, and we'll cover all of the different panels profusely. Haramis, for the last question, says, put the last question that I asked in the other question file that was mentioned. Let's see if I can do that. I don't know where I pasted that thing. There was a link there somewhere. There it is. From Haramis. I can do this. I can do this. Your name. Haramis's alter ego. If you have a question, paste the question, submit. Done, Haramis. Got you. Okay, that's going to be it for us because I leave for an airport in less than 12 hours. Shiver?
And it's going to take you that long to pack, right?
I'm already packed. I'm prepared. The next 12 hours, I've got 3 beers. I'm just getting drunk.
I like how you say that. You said 12 hours. I got to leave for work in 30 minutes, so...
Yeah.
I feel my deadline's a little tighter than
It
yours.
is, but that's why we're wrapping up now. So, Shiver,
Yes.
what are you doing on CitizenCon Day?
Oh God.
Everything.
I have no idea what times translate to. I am not time zones, first of all. But we're aiming to go live an hour before the keynote starts, so that's 6 p.m. my time. We're going to have other people on, and, you know, an hour before it goes live, we're going to be taking the piss out of what we've seen so far in the streams, which will probably be Eris drunk.
Well, and I'm sure anyone who's actually going to be around in the relay chat, there will be announcements that will go up.
Oh, yeah.
Regarding everything.
Maybe, if whoever's running that stream remembers.
Well, I'll be around. I can remind you. I'll be working, but...
Thank you.
Stormy, are you one of those unfortunate people that's working during CitizenCon?
Absolutely. All week. I work 6 days, so...
So, Shiver, you are going to be, you and Acid, I believe, are going to be running the CitizenCon stream. There will be a CitizenCon stream, and you will be rebroadcasting the entirety of CitizenCon and, you know, going back to you guys for commentary in between.
Yeah.
And just a big thank you to Acid, because there would be no stream without Acid.
Yes, so huge
And if
props
anyone
to
in
Acid.
the community wants some 3D work done, talk to Acid on Discord. He did some work for Terralion before Terralion was hired for CIG, so he does know and will do some things for you.
Yeah,
And I
Acid's,
feel like
Acid's good.
those...
Are you saying that I can get high on acid and pretend that those 3D models are real, or
Yes.
are we talking about an actual person?
Well, and I feel like
Yes.
Ghost did a little bit of work for the stream as well, so thanks to him.
Yeah.
Yes.
Thanks to Ghost and
Ghost is on the stream, so we can promote him when he's
Yes.
there.
And I might try and call in if time allows. We'll see. Paul?
Well, next week is going to be kind of weird because I don't actually, because of CitizenCon being in town, I have no real I have no idea where I'm going to be home. So I can't guarantee that I'm going to be on a normal schedule.
Did you manage to take time off for it at
Yes.
least? Or...
Unfortunately, that's the reason why I'm not going to TwitchCon, because it's 3 days. Well, also because I don't want to spend the money to go to TwitchCon.
Yeah.
Because I took 3 days off for CitizenCon. So I'm taking Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. But I am working Monday and Tuesday. But Monday's a holiday, so I have to go to work. But there's no kids there. So, and Tuesday will be my only day at work. And then afterwards I'll go to like the Bar Citizen, the free portion of the Bar Citizen, not the paid portion of the Bar Citizen, which is down below, the steps below. Which you can go to, but it's going to get kind of crowded with the people who don't pay for Bar Citizen.
I paid for Bar Citizen, but I don't know whether I'll be up or down most of the time.
I won't be up. I didn't pay for it, so I'm not going to bother.
It does. Keep in mind, it does open for everyone at 9:30.
Yeah.
So even if you didn't pay.
Yeah.
Chipper, who's going to be on the stream with you? Do you know? Ghost? And who else?
I was just typing it out. Ghost 404, Triangularity, Silence, and
you.
Takako and I.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Is there a table tonight, Paul?
There is. We have Fast Cart is going to be on there. He's actually got a surprise.
Ooh.
And I believe we have one of the members of the Info Runners who's going to be
Nice.
on Execute. And the last one we have is going to be HC Vertigo. So it's going to be an interesting one. I don't know if we have.
What time is this?
This is going to be in
2 hours.
2 hours. So 2 hours from now.
Yep.
And then there may not be a captain's table on the after CitizenCon, just because.
Yeah, I think I might be skipping. I think we might skip the relay station that week as well, because there's going to be streams most of the days after that week. I think I might just take the Saturday.
If you want, I could try and hoard Nitro, because he's literally just come back to life.
Oh yeah.
And see maybe.
I don't know. I'm gonna wait and see. I'm gonna hope that I actually arrive alive back. So, that is gonna be it for our show today. Stormy, thank you so much for being on. I know you got to run to work.
No worries. Well, and best of luck to everyone traveling. Safe travels.
Yes.
Be safe.
Yes. Shiver, thank you for running the stream next week.
Anytime.
Paul, see you in a couple days. And everyone out there, we'll see you in the verse.
See you.